Hello, back again with ancient cosmography. So I've been studying the stories of Finn McCool and the Fenian cycle of Celtic mythology, and so a lot of it seems to be about the geography of the British Isles. Like Finn McCool. I'm thinking that Finn McCool's face is actually the Isle of Skye, etc. So anyway, but there's another story that's also part of the same Fenian cycle of songs, poetry, whatever that is about this other character, Mac O'Doin. He's also called something else, Diarmid, I think. So I am now suspecting that this is actually about, or at least may relate to, Australia and New Guinea, because the story matches closely with the avatars of Australia and New Guinea in the Lascaux caves of France. Anyway, I'll just go through this. So, Glen Shee, the vale that lies beside me lies, where sweetest sounds are heard of deer and elk, and where the fiend did oft pursue the chase, following their hounds along the lengthening vale, below the great Ben Gulben's grassy height. So I'm not sure what this means. I mean, it seems weird because it seems like it's saying it's nearby, where Australia is not near to Britain really at all. But it's like as far as you could be almost. The valley winds. Anyway, so after a hunt by Finn and by the Fane, listen now while I detail the loss of one, a hero in this gentle band. 'Tis of Ben Gulben and of generous Finn and Mac O'Doin, in truth a piteous tale. A mournful hunt indeed it was for Finn, when Mac O'Doin, he of the ruddiest hue, up to Ben Gulben went, resolved to hunt the boar. So Ben Gulben, in theory, should be like a mountain, but it could be a symbolic mountain. Because Ben, I think, means mountain in Gaelic. Resolved to hunt the boar, whom arms had never yet subdued. Though Mac O'Doin of brightest burnished arms did bravely slay the fierce and furious boar, yet Finn's deceit did him induce to stupid thing never opens, like, to the bottom. Did him induce to yield, and this was what that was that did, and this it was that did his grievous heart. That did his grievous hurt. Okay. So let's see. Who among men was so beloved as he? Brave Mac O'Doin, beloved of the schools. Women all mourn the sad and piteous tale of him who firmly grasped the murderous spear. Then bravely did the hero of the fiend rouse from his cover in the mountainside. The great old boar, him so well known in Shee, the greatest in the wild boar's haunt ever seen. So basically, he's the largest animal in his area, which fits for Australia. So anyway, one reason I think that it could be Australia... Well, anyway, let me just go through this. Now, glad now was Finn, the man of readiest hue, beneath Ben Gulban's soft and grassy side. And this is not really an ancient poem. This is a semi-modern poem. It might be from like the 1600s or something, but it's based on the ancient poems. Beneath Ben Gulban's soft and grassy side, for swift the boar now coursed along the heath. Great was the ill came of that dreadful hunt. 'Twas when he heard the fiends' loud ringing shout, and saw approach the glittering of their arms. The monster wakened from his heavy sleep, and stately moved before them down the vale. First to distance them he makes attempt, the great old boar, his bristles stiff on end, these bristles sharper than a pointed spear, their point more piercing than... God damn it. Wait. Then the quiver's shaft. Then Mac O'Doin, with arms well pointed too, answers the horrid beast with ready hand. Away from his side there rushed the heavy spear, hard followed on the course the boar pursued. The javelin's shaft fell shivered into three. The shaft recoiled from the boar's tough hide. So anyway, so I think that, in the ancient Lascaux avatar of Australia, we have, like, Australia is represented as this bison, and Papua is this man, but I also had been suspecting that Australia was depicted as a boar in this earlier painting from Sulawesi. Like, this is about like 45,000 years old. This is about like 20,000 years old. So it seems like it's a mix of these two, conceptions, basically, with Australia as a boar, like the earliest painting, but with this battle between him and Papua, like in the later painting, and the spear, like in this, he's speared, and there actually are these islands and peninsulas that come out here, the Wessel Islands, that I think, represent that spearhead coming out of that part. But in this version, the spear doesn't kill the bison. The spear actually breaks in three. And that fits with the fact that the Wessel Islands, the part that's most like a spear, I mean, you could say it's in three, like these two and this. So, it could be a kind of double meaning. It could both mean these two kind of spearish things and then this one, but it maybe more properly refers to the larger one here, which at first I couldn't see, but that it was, but it is actually three pieces. So it goes, from here to here, and it's broken here, but it's also broken right here. So at first I didn't see that because it's a small channel there, but it is basically in these three pieces, 1, 2, 3. So that fits with the story. find where I am here. Let's see. Too much stuff on the screen. So I guess I was here. So it talks a lot about the bristles of this boar. So yeah, the spear doesn't penetrate, it breaks in three. Then from its sheath he drew his thin-leaved sword, of all the arms most crowned with victory. MacOdwyn did there the monster kill, while he himself escaped without a wound. Then on Finn of the Fane did sadness fall, and on the mountain side he sat him down. It grieved his soul that generous MacOdwyn should have escaped unwounded by the boar. So he's like hella jealous of this guy MacOdwyn. So I mean, all the gods were assholes, like for the most part. Like, so it's so funny when people try to talk about how they were heroes and how they're role models. No, anybody who reads, like, who studies ancient religion and thinks these gods are role models is smoking crack. No, it's like comedy, tragedy, and it's just showing all the ridiculous shit that the gods do for all the ridiculous reasons. Mostly comedy, I think, but also tragedy. So, anyway, for long he sat, Finn sat, and never spake a word, and then he spake, Measure, Diarmid, the boar down from the snout, and tell how many feet's the brute in length.